Hey everyone, Ittarra Oda here, bringing you my next step in Warframe 101, the beginner's guide to Warframe. Now, shout out to one of my friends, Trambera. She ended up actually giving me an idea of where to go next with this. She wanted me to discuss polarities, formas, and so on and so forth. Now, what polarities are in general is polarities are the way you end up making the most out of your weapons. Now we're gonna go to my Sinoid simulator here. Now we're gonna go to the configuration. This came base with these three polarities here. Now your three main polarities inside of Warframe, for weapons at least, are Materai, which is an R, Vazarim, which is a shoulder, and Naramon, which is the line. Now, what these polarities do in general is, as you can see, I have a 15 drain split chamber here. So, it drains it by 15. Now, you have to realize, you only get one capacity per level. So, in order to use this, your weapon would have to be level 15 before it could use it. Or, if it has the R polarity, as you can see here, boom! Now you can use it at level 8. That's the beauty of matching your polarities. Your polarities in of themselves are just the symbol. The number next to it is how much it drains on your weapon. Now, the reason why this is important to realize is because there are these items called formas. Hang on, let me go to the market real quick and I'll show you exactly what they look like. And components, formas. This shape-altering component is fundamental to Organ construction, allows you to change the polarity of a mod slot on a Warframe, Sentinel, or weapon, and then resets their affinity to level 1. This can only be used on level 30 Warframe, Sentinels, and weapons. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, why is it that you want to reset your weapon? Well, there's two reasons for that. Okay, I'm going to use my Tysus as an example. Now, the Tysus itself only has 30 capacity because I never used an Orcan reactor on it. But I can. It's right here. Double your mod capacity. Now, the reason why this is the main difference between Formas and Orcan Catalysts. Orcan Catalysts in of themselves are extremely rare, whereas Formas can actually be found in, 85% of the missions can drop a Forma. When it comes to the Void, when it comes to Spy, Sabotage, you can actually end up getting a Forma blueprint out of it. And the Forma blueprints in of themselves are not that rare, and they actually make it a lot easier on yourself because Orcan Catalysts only come around once in a blue moon in alerts, invasions, and so on and so forth. Now, what ends up happening is a Organ Catalyst should be used for a weapon that you can see yourself, or a weapon that you can see yourself actually holding on to for the entirety you play Warframe, or near entirety. There are a few weapons where, it's not worth it, and you want to just Forma instead because you're still on the fence about it. Now, I'm going to Forma my Tysus here and show you what that really does. Now, as you can see, there are absolutely no polarities whatsoever on this thing. So what we have to do here is we're going to actually use a Forma, put an R on it, because that's what we need, and then apply. Boom. Unranked. However, you have... Whoops, wrong button. But now you have an R polarity. So the same thing applies. Barrel diffusion, which is the multi-shot, 11 drain, I can have it at 6. It will always be cut in half, rounded up. So instead of it being 5, it'll be 6. So, what this means is now I don't have to wait as long, and I can get more out of my weapon. We're going to go to Frost Prime here and show you a few other things. Now, Frost Prime as a whole, as you can see, there are multiple different polarities here. But here's the main difference between secondary and primary and Warframes and Melees, is this slot right here in the very top center. These are your auras and stance mods. What an aura mod does is because if you match the polarity, it cuts it in half. However, that's not the case when it comes to stances or auras. When it comes to auras and you match it, it actually doubles their drain to give you extra capacity. So instead of me having 7, oh, my bad, that was my fault. I was trying to remove it.
You have remembered well how the
instead of having, just the 7 that would normally end up happening because of the aura, I would get 14. Now, The problem is if you put the wrong polarity in a weapon. Hang on, let me go over here. Actually, you know what? I'll stick right here. Now, you can always equip as long as you have the capacity. But if you put the wrong, if you put the wrong polarity in a slot, it actually increases its drain, as you can see here, which can be extremely detrimental because there are certain builds where you need every point you can get. So you don't want to do that. You want to keep to the polarities as much as humanly possible. Now let me go to melee real quick and show you what I mean. See, as you can see, same exact thing with melee weapons. You have an aura mod slot or a stance mod. Now, the interesting thing is about stance mods and aura mods in general, goddammit, is you can actually put the wrong polarity in, but still get a capacity boost, as you can see here. However, instead of it being 5, it's cut down to 4. So, but if you put the right one in, it goes from 5 to 10, and now you have 70 slot, and now you have 70 capacity. Now, what I would suggest, now this is just from my personal perspective and everything else, if you need a polarity change, if you feel like you're not getting enough out of your weapon, and I'm not talking stat-wise, if you feel like you're not getting enough, forma it. Because if you don't forma, you can't reset. If you don't reset, you can't get to your next mastery. And if you can't get to your next mastery, then you can't unlock the rest of the weapons, because a lot of the weapons are EXP locked until you get to said rank mastery. And the simple fact of the matter is the reason why I'm making this guide is not to, the reason I'm doing this is because Warframe, although be it very fun, it's extremely meta heavy with a very meta mindset. Now, you shouldn't worry about the meta because of the simple fact that the meta is the meta. You know, you're always going to run into that no matter where it comes from. But the simple fact of the matter is you guys got to have fun with this in order for you to actually get to that next spot. Don't worry about what another player thinks. You know, if you're asking for help, you know, listen to what they're asking. You know, listen to what they're actually telling you. Now, you know, you got to have a little bit of common sense so you don't get trolled and everything else. But as a whole, all you have to do in order to make sure that you actually have fun in this game is just do what it is that you want. You know, don't listen to what another player says is good or is bad or anything else. Unless it's like a unanimous consent, then kind of take heed to that a little bit. But as a whole, Void, if you're looking for just an easy way to get more XP, if you're looking for an easy way to actually get the most out of your frames and so on and so forth, Formas are the way to go. The only way I would actually suggest or say that Formas aren't the way to go is if you actually have a frame, a weapon, or anything of that nature that you truly, truly enjoy. And if that's the case, then you want to install either an Orkan Reactor, which is for frames and sentinels, or an Orkan Catalyst, which are for weapons. Now, what an Orkan Catalyst or Reactor does is it doubles the capacity. As you can see here, I have 60, even though it's only level 30. So it just ends up making it a lot easier for you. However, like I said prior, make sure that it's on a weapon or a frame you plan on holding on to for a great deal of time, because these are extremely rare. Yes, you can buy them in the market for 20 platinum, but you can't obtain them just as easily as you could a Forma. A Forma drops from multiple resources, drops from multiple missions, multiple sources, and everything else. However, it is better as a temporary solution if you don't feel too accustomed to it. Like, yeah, you know they're good and everything else, but you're not really that heavily set into them. Use a Forma. Get the most you can out of it. Alter an aura slot, or just, you know, try and get a faux boost, a fake boost. Now, what ends up happening is, as you can see, they are the exact same price as the Forma. So use your best judgment. What do you feel you're going to do? This is just to help you guys get your leg in the door and get your foot in the door and just make sure that you actually understand what this game is about. This game is all about leveling, it's all about having fun, going into missions, shooting up bad guys, making your Warframe turn into a Grim Reaper instead of a rubber ducky. Here's a picture of a rubber ducky Warframe. So, as a whole, it's not that complicated, which is, you know, that's actually a great thing, and it's a very subtle thing, too, because it's like, How many games do you know of, or that you can actually understand, that have a very simplistic way of going about making you powerful, but it's not labor intensive? You know, you can have fun, you can sit down and play it. I mean, if you're playing Destiny, or if you're playing any type of looter shooter, you'd enjoy this game. You know, it's the same premise. Go down, shoot, have fun, loot, get a giggle or two because of just something random happening and everything else. Well, everybody, this is Ittarra signing off. Now, for this next video, or this next upcoming video, what would you guys like me to cover? I can cover what's the best beginner weapons, what are the best, what is it? If you want me to explain trading chat to you, I can do that as well, because I know a lot of people don't understand this. Or we can go over Lingo 101 with recruiting and stuff like that. So, just, let me know in the comment section below what you guys want, because if you guys let me know what you want, I can get the next video out and I can tell you all exactly what you need to know. Well, everybody, this is Ittarra signing off. I hope you guys found this informative, and like I said before, if you have any questions or anything like that, please leave it in the comment section below and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this helped you. If it did, please leave a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and I will see you guys in the next part. Take care, everyone, and be safe.